I came across this photo not too long ago on Twitter, and it makes me laugh. It makes me really laugh. I would cry, but I like to laugh. Democrats hate this, as in the UFC fight that took place out of the White House. In the photo, you see of the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds flying over the White House in the ring. But celebrate this, of course, being the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago. The response to this photo is he's absolutely right. Well, I can only speak for myself. And yes, I am a Democrat. And yes, I voted for Obama twice. And yes, I hate Donald Trump with a passion. The only person in my life that I truly hate. So yeah, I hate what Trump did to the White House for his birthday celebration, the UFC fight dressed up as patriotism, and I celebrate the Obama Presidential Center. And here's why I hated what Donald Trump did, desecrating the White House again, aside from that ballroom he's trying to build, desecrating the White House lawn, the symbol of our country's leadership, by desecrating this gigantic stage for a UFC fight on his birthday. So yeah, I do hate this. I hate with a passion. You know why? Here are my reasons why I hate it. I hate it because it was a phony attempt at patriotism. It doesn't even matter that I'm not a UFC fan. I don't like mixed martial arts. Being trained in martial arts myself, it's about art. It's about eloquence. This is just two guys going into a cage and being each other senseless. And more importantly, I hate the fact that it was a platform for racism. That Josh Hoketh comment he made about Michelle Obama that was condemned by only one person, not the President of the United States, Donald Trump. Oh no, he celebrates it. Not the sponsors of the event, Budweiser, the cryptocurrency, Monster Energy Drink, what have you. Not by any of the attended guests. Not by the millionaires who were there. Not by them people in Donald Trump's regime that were there. It was condemned by the boss of USC, Dana White. And it was nothing more than performative, trying to cover his ass, knowing full well that if he had the mic, he would say the same damn thing. So I hate what UFC 250 represented. A fake, destructive parody of patriotism. Just because you wrap yourself in the American flag doesn't make you a patriot. It makes you into a joke. A straight up 100% joke. And that's what that was. And it cost the American people millions, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. That's why I hate it. With everything else that's going on in the world, the peace agreement, surrender agreement that Donald Trump signed with Iran, blowing up in his face, him threatening another attack on the cusp of us, the American taxpayer, having to be forced to pay hundreds of billions of dollars for a war that Donald Trump started. This thing is no different and no better than what he did last year, forcing the United States Army to march in front of him, pretending that he's Kim Jong-un, or Vladimir Putin, or even Adolf Hitler, when troops marched in front of him and him snapping a salute, trying to make himself the strongman dictator. So yeah, I do hate what UFC 250 was. But the fellow actually showed something else, asking, we celebrate this, Barack Obama's Presidential Center in Chicago, Illinois. Well, first things first, every president that we know of has a presidential center or a presidential library named after them. So why is Barack Obama so different? Why is the MAGA so angry that this happened? Obviously, because Barack Obama is a Democrat. Barack Obama made a joke about Trump that Trump is still angry about, the White House Correspondents' Dinner joke. But more to the point, Barack Obama is a black man. Barack Obama, in their heads and in their idiotic minds, is an infidel. A black American infidel who had the audacity to sit down at the white man's desk in the White House. So I celebrate this. When this thing was open, I watched it on YouTube, MSNBC's YouTube channel. And I celebrated it because it was a repudiation of what we saw when it came to Donald Trump. We see chaos with Trump. When it came to the Obamas, Barack, Michelle, and their family, we saw eloquence. When we see Donald Trump, we see nothing but a denigration of our country on a daily, if not hourly basis. When we look at Barack Obama, we see not only black excellence, he exuberates that. We see American excellence. And that's what was on full display when his presidential center was opened. The opening ceremony, the surviving American presidents, all of them, Bush, W. Bush, let's get that straight. W. Bush, his son, Clinton, Biden, they were there for this. You know who wasn't? Obviously, Donald Trump. Not because he was too busy writing down his surrender document for Iran, because he's a racist. But leave that on the back burner. What we saw was America at its finest. Not because we saw a bunch of performers like legends like Stevie Wonder and Bruce Springsteen and Cameron actually performing there. We saw America. We saw the best of America there. What we saw at 250 was the worst. The absolute worst of America. Yeah, you can wrap it all around the stars and stripes and you can pretend it was patriotic, but it wasn't. It wasn't. With performers backing out of it. And now I'm hearing more and more performers backing out of the July 4th 250 celebration that Trump has turned into a Trump rally where he is expected to speak, and I expected it to be a complete and total disaster. What I saw when Barack Obama opened his presidential center was excellence, was patriotism, was service, was America at its finest. What I saw when it comes to Trump was nothing more than a sideshow freak show on display. The insult to our country, the insult to those who serve in the military, the insult I see every day Donald Trump opens his mouth and pretends he represents America. So, there's my answer to this photo that was posted on Twitter. I hate UFC 250 because it represents everything wrong with this country. I celebrate the opening of the Obama Presidential Center. Hell, I'm making plans of one day actually visiting it because we saw the best of America there. I hope that makes it clear. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.